Hi everyone, my name is Daryl. I've had a Rhino Rack roof rack since September of 2021 that I use when going camping. I've gotten some pretty bad gas mileage on camping trips, especially in high winds or when the speed limit is relatively high. However, I've never systematically compared gas mileage between my RAV4 Prime's stock configuration versus when I have the rack fully loaded. Well, today I'm going to do that, and I'm really curious to see how the gas mileage compares. I will be traveling to Jean, Nevada, which is about 18 miles away, and it will be mostly highway miles. I'll try to be as consistent as possible between the runs, and then at the end of the two trips, I'll compare the numbers and discuss. So let's go outside and load up that rack. Okay guys, so here's my RAV4 Prime. This is the roof rack I have, but basically the gear that I'm going to put in it is this stuff right here. So we have a clam screen shelter, and we basically have two kind of blow up mattress pads. It's not much weight. I think the clam is about 45 pounds. These are probably 10 pounds a piece, so that's about 65 pounds. And then the rack itself is about 55 pounds, so it's about 120 extra pounds. So it's insignificant that. The only thing that's really it's testing is just when this stuff is on the roof, how is that going to affect gas mileage? And so we get to see that today. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get this loaded up. Okay, so the straps I have, they're made from Rhino USA. I got them on Amazon. I think they were like 25 bucks or so. I don't think they're at all associated with the Rhino Rack folks, but these work really good. So yeah, check them out if you have a need for strapping stuff down. Yeah, so for those of you that haven't ratcheted before, yeah, the strap just goes right into this loop right here, and then it just loops around. So it goes into that loop there, and then it goes through, and then it just wraps around the spool like so. And there we go. And then you just kind of tighten, and then you ratchet down. So yeah, it's pretty easy once you've done it a couple times. So I usually have a lot more stuff up here, but today I just have the clam and the two mattress pads. So I usually stack some more stuff up on here. But basically you just pull it through and tighten it, like so, and then you just start strapping. And I strap till it gets really tight, just because I don't want stuff flying off the raft. Okay, so we got her all strapped down, ready to go. So let's go to the gas station and let's fill her up, and we get to see what kind of gas mileage we're gonna get. And we're gonna fill it up to the top, and then we're gonna do, I guess, when people are checking gas mileage, they fill it up, and when it clicks off, they do one more fill up to fill it all the way up to the top, and then we're going to get started. Okay, so did I mention how much I love this car? We hardly ever use gas on it. We just got back from a long trip, and so that's why we're filling up now, but hardly ever do we have to put gas in this car. So it just filled up, and I'm gonna give it the extra little bit, and then we'll be on the road. Okay guys, so we're back in the car. We started up. As much as I hate to do this, I'm gonna turn on eco mode. So I know probably when most people are driving on the freeway, they're gonna be using eco mode. I never use eco mode. I always have it in sport mode. But anyway, so you'll see me do this. So we are going to turn, whoops. We are gonna officially turn on the eco mode. It's in green. We're on eco mode. The air conditioning is on low, so I'm gonna keep the air conditioning on. I am going to keep the radio on for this test. I've reset the trip odometer, so the trip odometer reads 0, and so I will do the same thing in stock, and make sure that the miles are the same. And when I shut the car off, it will give me the miles per gallon. So I'll do that. So when I shut off the car, it will give me the miles per gallon. We'll kind of compare that to how much gas we used, and that'll be that. So here we go. We're going to be going about 25 or 30 miles away. We'll check the odometer when we get there to see, and try as much as possible to stay right at the speed limit. I will be setting this cruise control once we get on the highway. I'll set it to 70. Our speed limit 65, I think, and then once we're out of Vegas, it changes to 70. The wind is supposed to be crazy over the next 4 or 5 days, over 30 miles an hour here in Las Vegas, and so I wanted to make sure that I did this test when there wasn't a whole lot of wind, so there would be some consistencies between the runs. And so that's why I'm going to do this all in one day, and pretty much right next to each other. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm really interested. Have noticed some relatively bad gas mileage when we go camping. I blamed it mostly sometimes on a real big headwind. But I'm just really curious to see on the same day, same situations, what the difference in miles per gallon is going to be between, you know, something with a whole bunch of stuff on the roof rack and just in standard kind of off the showroom full floor RAV4. And this is broken in. I've got over 10,000 miles on this thing, so it's way broken in. So see you in a sec. Yeah, we are doing about the first probably 4 miles or so on a stretch of roads through Southern Highlands where the speed limit's like 35 miles an hour. So it'll have a little bit of city driving in the miles per gallon. Not a lot. There isn't many stoplights, so mostly it's just kind of low speed cruising. So you can take that for what you will. But it's not all freeway, a little bit of in town, I guess you could call it, low speed. Obviously, I don't think at 35 miles an hour, the roof rack and the stuff on top of the roof is going to affect gas mileage all that much. Okay. Yeah, so as soon as I actually hit the freeway right outside of Las Vegas, the speed limit changed to 70. So I'm actually going to set the cruise control on the freeway to 75. I don't anticipate there being any sort of, I mean, I think that would be relatively normal unless you were towing something. I don't anticipate there being any sort of traffic. Try to keep it as much as possible to that 75 miles per hour, and we'll go from there. Okay. Okay, you guys, we've reached the halfway point of our trip. The trip odometer's at 18 miles. Probably a little less than I really wanted, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. So we're going to go ahead and turn around. So it's going to be looks like it's going to be a total of about a 36-mile test. I guess take that for what you will. I think at least 15 of the miles was on the freeway. I think it will show you something. I think it'll show you that there is some sort of difference. I honestly don't know how much, but we're both going to find out at about the same time. So we'll turn around and we'll start our way back, and we'll be at the gas station soon. Okay, so we're done with the test. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the car, and we're going to see what the car thought I got in regards to gas mileage. So here we go. We did on this trip drive a total of 37 miles. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, so 37 miles, and it thought we got 33.7 miles per gallon. 33.7 miles per gallon. Actually, that's better than I thought I was going to get. It does say I was driving 20% in EV. So, obviously that miles per gallon is a little bit skewed because we were driving an EV so much. But it'll be the same thing for the other tests, so we'll see. Okay, just fill up the tank just the way I did before, and that's what it came to. So I ended up using 1 gallon 0.07 is basically what I used. So it's pretty accurate because I think I did, what did I say I did, 37 miles or something? Let's go ahead and start up the car again. So it said we did 33 miles per gallon. We did 1.07 gallons is what we put into it. 1.07 gallons is what we put into it. I guess it's pretty accurate. I'll have to do the math officially on a calculator or something like that, but it seems to be pretty accurate. So anyway, we'll be back at the gas station in a little bit after I get done taking off the roof rack, and we'll compare to stock. Okay, bye. Hey guys, so we're getting ready. I topped off the gas. I did a kind of a fill up and then topped it off one more time just to make sure it was totally full. And I'm gonna go ahead and reset the trip odometer. Okay, I'm gonna put it in hybrid mode. So all the tests are gonna be in hybrid mode. Hey guys, I'm back. So we're at the halfway point, and we've done now 18.3 miles. I'll see you back in a second. Okay, so we're done with the test, and so I'm about ready to turn off the car. Looks like we did 37 miles. 37.0 is what the trip odometer says. And so we're gonna turn off the car, and we'll see what the car thinks we did as far as gas mileage goes. So there we go. Okay, so 37 miles, it thinks we did 39.1 miles per gallon, 34% of EV driving for 46 minutes. Okay. Okay, now we'll go ahead and fill her up and see exactly how much gas we used. Okay. Okay, so here we are. We used 0.715 gallons of gasoline. Okay, everyone, I'm back. So I promised that after I finish, I'd crunch the numbers and discuss. The results were both as expected and surprising at the same time. So first off, it's obvious that putting on a roof rack and then putting a bunch of gear on top of it will impact gas mileage. On camping trips, I've gotten as low as 22 miles per gallon when I had a 40-mile-per-hour headwind. However, I never really knew how that would compare if I didn't have the rack. The trip computer shows that I got relatively good gas mileage numbers. I got 33.7 miles per gallon on the rack-equipped Prime and 39 miles per gallon on the stock Prime, with a difference of about 5.5 miles per gallon. That's about what I expected. However, when I compare the actual amount of gas used, this is when the numbers get really interesting. Also, what's strange is the amount of time the cars spent in EV mode. Let's look at EV mode first. On the stock RAV4 Prime, the car spent 34% of its time in EV mode versus 20% on the rack-equipped RAV4. I suppose the headwind resistance could have accounted for this difference, but it's relatively surprising to me. What's even more surprising, however, is the real miles per gallon I got when I looked at the actual gas consumed. On the stock RAV4, I consumed 0.72 gallons of gas compared to 1.07 gallons of gas on the rack-equipped RAV4. That's more than a 25% difference and accounts for a difference of 17 miles per gallon. I really don't quite believe those numbers, and I'll have to redo the test with a longer trip when I get more time. So the gas mileage difference between a stock RAV4 Prime and one equipped with a roof rack and a bunch of gear on top is at least 5.5 miles per gallon difference, or as much as 17 miles per gallon difference. I expect the difference to be on the lower end of the range, perhaps 8 miles per gallon difference or so. So, If you really need a rack to haul gear, just know that your gas mileage will suffer. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I'll also be testing the wind noise difference between a stock RAV4 Prime and a roof rack equipped Prime. So I'll see you in the next video.